Hello everyone, so today we're going to be talking about the Gunslinger, and basically this entire series of a couple videos, I think it's going to be like 12 videos or so, is just going to be me talking about each class and their pros and cons, so what they're good at and what they're not so good at. And so the first episode we're going to start with the Gunslinger since she is my first character, then we will go to the Summoner in the next episode, Blade Master, and maybe Force Master. I'm not sure on what order we'll go after that. But for sure, we will be talking about the Gunner, the Summoner, and then the Blade Master. So the Gunner is a very high DPS class, and it is rather simple to play. So the main strengths for the Gunner is high DPS, high mobility, and simple to play, and easy to play. So if you are a new player and you do like playing range classes, you do like playing DPS classes, then the Gunner is a very good pick. The Gunner is probably usually going to be in the top 3 DPS within your party, within your raid, mainly because of its tool set, of its multipliers, of how the kit itself works, but it does have its downsides. The downsides is you are incredibly squishy, so if you do get hit by any attacks, you do take some damage. You will need gear, you will need soul shields to mitigate this damage in order to survive, in order to take more hits. And because of your high mobility, you are expected to do certain roles in raids which require classes to have high mobility. A good example would be you may need to spawn cylinders on Twilight Temple Boss 1, which is rather simple as a Gunner. However, just keep in mind that you may need to do certain roles and certain mechanics. However, in regular dungeons, so 6-man dungeons, the Gunner's main role is rather simple. It's just shoot the boss and kill the boss before anything happens. And that is your main role. So every class in Blade and Soul has its own niche or its own special ability. So for the Gunner, their special ability is called Alpha Call. So Alpha Call resets all of the big skills of the other classes. So for example, if you have a Warlock or Warden, their big skill is Soul Burn. Soul Burn basically amplifies your damage significantly by giving you additional critical chance, critical damage, and just a buff overall for your damage multipliers. As well as Blue Buff, which is given by Assassins and Kung Fu Masters. And as for the other classes, for example, Soul Fighters and Summoners, it resets their big revive spells, which allows your party to revive again in case you do wipe. Other than the Alpha Call, the rest is just pure DPS mobility, and that's it. So I do recommend the Gunner to a lot of inexperienced players that are not familiar with MMOs, are not familiar with Blade and Soul, are not familiar with these type of games or action games. But obviously, the Gunner is very much catered towards players who love to do a lot of DPS and love to be super mobile and not get hit and want to fight at range. So if you are a melee type of player, I don't recommend the Gunslinger. However, if you do like to play ranged and you do like to do a lot of DPS and not offer anything else other than the DPS and the Alpha Call, then the Gunslinger is for you. So that wraps it up for this episode. In the next episode, I will be talking about the Summoner and then finally the Blade Master, because these are the 3 classes that I am most familiar with. However, we will extend it on to other classes as time goes on and as I get more familiar with them. So if this video helped, I would appreciate a subscribe. It really does help out my channel. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.
What can I say except you're welcome for the heals, the boosts, the